So welcome to this session. The name of this session is named as I, the Unstoppable Leader. It is I, the Unstoppable Leader. So from the title itself, you would have understood the title, the picture, the display picture. You would have understood that this session is all about the leadership. It's about the leader within you. So it's all about how to bring out the leader in you so that we become more stronger, we perform better. Right. So let's get into the session. And right. So this session will be a very important session. Please have your notepads and pen handy so that you'll be able to scribble out the notes. So how many of you think you are or you can be an unstoppable leader? Do you think you are an unstoppable leader, or do you think you will be able to become an unstoppable leader? Right, good. So let me ask you, who is an unstoppable leader? How can a person become an unstoppable leader? How can you become an unstoppable leader? Set a goal, practice, being aggressive, being consistent. Wow. Thinking in mind, nothing is impossible. Wow. Lot of stuff. You guys are sharing a lot of stuff. So I understand that you have been attending a lot of trainings. I think you have been attending lots of trainings, and see, attending training is very important, and it's more important to implement those learnings. Unless and until you implement those learnings, then there is no point in attending so many trainings. Okay, what I feel is to become an unstoppable leader, there are many things which you need to understand. Okay, the leadership is something which has to come from within. It is something which has to come from within. So that is what we'll be discussing here, and we'll see what are the different aspects of becoming or leading a team or leading yourself. That is more important. When we talk about leadership, most of the philosophies or philosophers, they tell us it's all about leading somebody or leading a team. No, it's what I feel is it's all about leading yourself. Unless and until you are able to lead yourself, unless and until you are able to bring your potential, bring yourself outside, then I don't. If that is not happening, then you cannot be a leader. So let's see how can we bring out the leader within us. See, what I have seen in last 8 years with Vestige is when I work with for last years I am working with Vestige, and it's 8 years and 3 months now. So in last 8 years and 3 months, what I have seen is all the people who come in close contact with me, who comes to my training, who speaks to me, who get in touch with me, they always have one thing to ask me. Sir, how do I find leaders? Praveen, how do I find leaders? How do I create leaders? And most of us, what they want is, they want all the people surrounding them, whether it can be their family, it can be their, when I say family, father, mother, wife, children, brother, sister, whoever. It can be their friends, it can be their team members, whoever. They want these people to listen to them. They want all the others to follow what these people say. For example, if I am that particular person, I want everyone to follow what I say. The moment I say something, I expect others to get inspired, and I want them to act. And presume or I understand that most of you want the same thing to happen. You want your family members, your team members to listen to you, and whenever you say something, you want them to take an action, and that does not happen. And this is the one reason why people ask, "Sir, how do I find leaders? How do I create leaders?" So this is one of the major area where any network marketer would want a clarity, or any network marketer want this to be changed. My dear friends, please understand, you cannot inspire someone unless and until you are inspired by yourself. Your inspiration cannot, you see, your people cannot surpass your inspiration. Unless and until you are inspired, your downline's inspiration will not surpass your inspiration. It is very, very important for you to be self-inspired. If you are not inspired, how can you inspire others? So the way you talk, when you put across something, there has to be, your words should have some inspiration. See, if you are inspired within yourself, the way you talk will have a different approach. Most of the time we try to, we say we are trying to inspire people, we say we are trying to motivate people, but end of the day, if you see, you are trying to push people. And sorry, I have Rishikesh asking me to thoda Hindi mein bhi bolo na. That is my problem. I don't know Hindi. So I want you to adjust with my English. So I don't have any other option. I can speak in 3 languages, English, Tamil and Malayalam. If you're comfortable with any of these three languages, then it's fine. And I'm very sorry, I'll not be able to speak in Hindi. And Rishikesh, I think you can take up the challenge to teach me Hindi. Okay, which we will talk personally later. Let's continue with the session. Thank you. So, unless and until you are inspired, you will not be able to inspire others. So your inspiration is very, very important. Your goal is very, very, very important. The way you see yourself is very, very important. So your attitude will determine your altitude. There are so many times people ask, how do I grow? How can I become a big leader? How can I achieve W Universal Crown Director? Or how can I reach into a big checks? How can I create a big team? So there are so many questions people ask. See, if you want to reach bigger heights, if you want to reach your bigger dreams, the one and only option is your growth is decided, or your destination is fixed only based on your attitude. Unless and until your attitude changes, unless and until your attitude is right, you will not be able to grow up. For a leader, attitude is everything. Attitude is the first and foremost thing for a leader. Without a proper right attitude, a person cannot become a leader. Without proper attitude, you will not be able to lead yourself. You will not be able to lead others. If you want to lead a team, you need to lead yourself. If you have to lead yourself, you need to have an attitude. So now my question is, what is attitude? What do you understand from the word attitude? Can you type your meaning for attitude? Please type on your chat window, what do you understand from the word attitude? Because attitude is one word which will set you apart from the rest of the world. Thank you. So a lot of responses coming good. See, attitude is how you see the world. What is your perspective of seeing the world? That is what usually, this would be the meaning what you see in a dictionary or when you Google it. Your perspective of the world is called as attitude. I would add one more thing into that. I would say it's not only about how you see the world, it's all about how you see yourself. That is the attitude. How you see yourself. That is very, very important. If you don't understand yourself, if you don't see yourself in the right way, then you are not having a right attitude. So how you see yourself and how you see the world will determine how you will respond to different situations, which we will be discussing in detail about the attitude. See, how you see yourself is very, very important. See, when you see a mirror, what do you see? You see yourself as a lion, or do you see yourself as a cat? Do you think you will be able to achieve your dreams, or do you think I'm not capable? This thought process decides what will be your future, what will be your life. See, anyone and everyone whoever has a right attitude will grow. Any successful person in this world, in whichever field, whichever industry may be, if he or she is successful, it is only because of the right attitude. It's all about how they saw themselves. So imagine, let's take Mahendra Singh Dhoni, or let's take Virat Kohli. How they see themselves is the first quality which will help them to lead a team. If you are not confident in yourself, if you don't think that you are capable, if you don't think that you are the right person, then how is it possible for you to lead the team? So how do you see yourself in good times? Tell me, if everything is good, if everything is going fine, you're very happy, things are going as per your wish, what do you feel about yourself? Please type in the chat window. You feel like a king. Wow. My dear friends, please don't, I would recommend you to not to send any messages in a private window. If at all, if you need to share something with me personally, then you can send it a private window, or else please put your response in the open forum so that people will watch that, and they will have it will be easy for them to understand what's happening. So you think if everything is going good, you think you are the king of the world. Okay. Humble. Please remove privacy. Okay. So somebody is asking me to please remove the privacy. So I want you guys, one of you to help me. How do I remove the privacy? Because I'm not very well versed with all these settings in Okay, I got it. Yeah. Yeah, good. So I think now, okay. And now you can send chats in the open forum. Yeah, good. So when things are going good, you feel very happy, you are grateful, you are straightforward, you are positive. There is a lot of responses which is coming in. Right. Now let me ask you, how do you feel when things are bad? When things are not going the right direction? What do you think about yourself when situation is not supportive to you? I want you guys to speak the truth. Just because it is an open forum, don't just send anything and everything. Let's be honest to ourselves. Please be brutally honest to yourself. That is very important. Oh, good. I feel frustrated. I feel negative. I worry about my bad times. I feel broken, and I'll try to be positive. I'll try to increase my self-belief. So, which means most of us say, "My time will come," and most of you go down. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me always? What did I do wrong? Why God is so cruel to me? Why people are very cruel to me? So you feel these kind of things. Now let me ask you, what do you feel when you face challenges? See, bad times are different, challenges are different. Bad times are the times where you are not able to do anything, everything is out of your control. But whereas challenges is something when things are moving, but not as per your wish and not as per your speed. So what do you feel when you face challenges? You try to gather all your strength, but if the challenges continue for a long time, you go down. You seek for help. you want somebody to come and change your life. Like there is a movie in Tamil. It's a bit old movie. The hero is Vikram. So, and the movie name is called Kandasamy. I don't know what's it in Kannada and Hindi, but in Tamil it was Kandasamy. So where he is a CBI officer, so he takes all the money from the bad people and he will pack it in a plastic bag, and he overnight he delivers it to the poor people who are suffering. And when we face challenges and bad times, we want somebody like this to be a savior, to come and give all the money to come and solve all our problems. But that does not happen. So even while challenges and bad times, we expect somebody else to come and change the world. Okay, now one of the most important question: what do you think about yourself when you see about your future? When you think about your future, what's coming in your mind right now? Think about your future, 5 years, 10 years down the line. What's coming into your mind? Vision is clear, entrepreneur, 100% too big. See, all this you're telling about your aspirations. You're telling you wanted to be so and so. But to reach that destination, what is ahead of you? Is there any doubt? Is there any fear? Will I be able to reach that place? Will there be any challenges to reach that reach my goal? So sometimes some of you might get those confusions. Will I be able to do it? Will I be able to reach my goal? Will there be any problems? Is it easy or will it be hard for me? So sometimes you get some doubts, you get confusions, right? So in each different stages, when there is good time, you're happy. When there is bad time, you're frustrated. When there are challenges, you have doubt. When you think about your future, you have doubt. So in different situations, you think in a different way. Am I right? That is the tendency of a normal human being. The tendency of not only normal, most of the human beings, it is the nature of the human being to be happy and elated when during good times. It is normal for a human being to be sad and have doubts and fear when we have challenges, problems, and when we think about the future. Now, according to you, who is the greatest so far till now? Who's one of the, I would not say greatest, but I would like to use one of the best best captain for Indian cricket? Whom do you say? Whom do you suggest is the best captain for Indian cricket so far? Okay, good. Good, thank you. So you say MSD is the best captain. So some of you say Kapil Dev, Kohli. Okay. So majority of the majority of the people suggest the MS Dhoni is the one of the best captain. See, Virat Kohli has created many records, but still you say Dhoni is the best captain. Why? Why do you say Dhoni is the best captain? Because he is calm and composed. When is he calm and composed? How is the reaction of Dhoni when Indian team is about to win? Or when Dhoni is about to hit a century, how does he react? Calm and cool. When things are going bad, when Indian team knows, including the captain, knows that they will lose the match, how does he react? Again, natural, calm, cool. When there is a challenge, let's say Dhoni is in the crease and there are 6 balls and he is supposed to hit 25 runs, what will be his reaction? He is facing a challenge. Again, he stays calm and cool. Let's say there are 10 overs left, 6 wickets down. 6 wickets down, only 4 more wickets and 10 overs, and the team has to hit 100 runs. What will be the reaction of Dhoni when he sees the future? Calm and cool. So, and this calm and cool, at every stages, when during good times, bad times, challenges, and future, Dhoni remains calm and cool. That is the one reason why he is called the best captain. So he's an effective leader. Being an effective leader, at any situation, at any given point of time, his attitude remains the same. He does not allow circumstances to control his attitude. In fact, he controls the attitude and he is able to control his circumstances or situation. So the first thing for you to be a leader is to become an effective leader, is to become unstoppable, is the only way is to be calm, cool, and confident at any point of time, whether it is good times or bad times. You should be confident. You should be confident in achieving your dreams. Whatever may come in, whatever any challenges might come in. Don't worry. If you are confident, you will thrive. You will thrive through any difficult situations. People might not believe you. Don't bother. Maybe I'm very sorry. Sometimes your close friends or your parents might not believe that you might become successful in the business. Don't worry. If you are confident, if you are ready to take the risk, if you are confident enough, nobody can stop you. It is your confidence and your belief system which will take you forward. So whatever may be the situation, whether it is good time or bad time or difficult times, it is your attitude which is going to shape up your destiny. So attitude is everything for a leader. Leaders are unique people. So you can see all the leaders. You see them separate. They are visible everywhere. They are like shining stars. They are visible even from the far place. They are always visible. Whereas even if they are in a bigger crowd, these leaders, they stand apart because they are unique people. How are they unique? They think differently. They think differently. And all the 444 people who have logged into this webinar, you are unique because you are a different people. There are so many other people who could have joined, but they haven't joined this webinar, and you have joined. You started thinking differently. So you are unique. You are a leader. This thought process is what is going to take you forward. There are millions of people in India, and why only very few people have joined Vestige? Because those are the few people who started thinking differently, who started believing in their business, who started believing in their potential, and these are the people who will change their lives. These are the people who will become successful. So leaders are the people who will think differently. And you started thinking differently, and that is why you are in Vestige, and you need to continue to think differently for you to become successful in your life. And any leader and every leader, you see, they started thinking differently. They were doing something what common people were not ready to do. They developed a certain kind of attitude. They developed a certain kind of thinking. And they had a different perception about the world, and they had different perception about themselves. And that is the reason why people grow from rags to riches. And any successful person has grown from rags to riches. If you see, he would have come from a very humble background. Even his family was not ready to accept his dreams, but he was very confident in his dreams. He had a different thinking about the world. He had a different idea, and that is why he is successful. People might not believe you. Don't bother. If people are not believing you, that means you are going the right track. And if many people are believing what you say, then, my dear friends, you are not going the right track. Beware. There should be a lot of rejections. And people are against you. When people are against you, you are in the right track. So for you to become successful and for you to become an effective leader, you need to understand the qualities of a leader. How many of you want to know the qualities of a leader? If you want to know the qualities of a leader, just type I. Thank you. So, thank you. When we discuss about qualities of a leader, let me ask you, who is the king of birds? Who is the king of birds? Eagle. And most of you might heard about the story of eagle. Like why the eagle is the king, or what is the speciality of the eagle. And eagle, as most of you might have heard, It after some time, after 30 years of its life, its feathers grow heavy, its beaks are weak, its claws are weak. So the eagle goes to a high mountain where other living beings or where other humans does not come, and it goes there. It plucks out all its feathers, because of its heavy feathers it cannot fly. Because its claws are big, it cannot hold on to the prey. Because its beaks are numb, it cannot feed on to the prey. So it goes out, it removes all their feathers, and it is very, very difficult for a bird to survive without feathers. And then it removes all its claws. Then it will tap onto the stone or a rock, and it will remove its beaks. And all these three things will take some time to grow. It automatically grows. Okay, like the way we have our hair and nails growing, the feathers and the beak and the claws regrow, and it takes I think 90 days or 180 days. I exactly don't remember the time. So it is a rehabilitation period for this eagle. And during this time, it cannot defend itself from any of its enemies, and it somehow tries to manage it. It is very, very difficult stage. It hides somewhere. It ensures that it can't eat, it can't drink, it waits there, it survives. It goes through a tremendous pressure, difficulties, and then later the beaks, feathers, and claws will grow. And again, it lives for another 30 years. And for an eagle, it is a rebirth. And eagle is the only living being, only bird which has this quality. And that is why we call eagle as a leader. So leader has to go through very hardships to emerge as a leader. That is what we understand from the story of an eagle. But today, this is some story which you have already heard. But today I am going to talk to you about lion, the king of jungle. Because understanding the leadership quality, the quality of an eagle, and the quality of a lion is very, very important for you to emerge as a leader. So since you know most of you know about the eagle, you might have heard about the eagle. Today I'll be talking few things about the lion. So let's discuss about the lion as a leader. Now tell me, what what is the quality of a lion? Or rather, let me ask you like this. Lion is the king of the forest. Okay. Let me ask you, which is the intelligent animal in the forest? Intelligent. Elephant is not intelligent. The fox is the intelligent animal. Very good. Okay. Now let me ask you, which is the biggest animal in the forest? I'm not talking about the tallest animal. I'm asking about the biggest. Biggest is elephant. Let me ask you, which is the tallest elephant in the, which is the tallest animal in the forest? Tallest. Okay, good. Let me ask you, which is the heaviest animal in the forest? Biggest is elephant. I'm talking about the heaviest. Hippo. Hippopotamus is the heaviest animal in the forest. Good. Which is the beautiful animal in the forest? Which is the beautiful animal in the forest? My dear friend, peacock is a bird. It is not an animal. Butterfly is not an animal, Baba. Okay, so deer is the beautiful animal in the forest. Let me ask you, which is the fastest animal in the forest? Fastest. Cheetah. Okay. Right, good. Which is the strongest animal in the forest? The strongest. Tiger is the strongest animal in the forest. Good. So, let me ask you once again, the biggest animal is, as you said, it is elephant. The tallest is, as you said, it's giraffe. The strongest or the heaviest is hippopotamus. The beautiful animal is deer. The intelligent animal is fox. The fastest animal is cheetah. The strongest animal is tiger. And my dear friends, Lion does not have any of these qualities. It is not intelligent, it is not smart, it does not have a certain weight, does not have a certain weight, does not have any advantage. Without any advantage, if lion can become a leader, without any special qualities, you can become a leader. How many of you agree with this? If you agree with this, say, I agree. So you do not want any special qualities to become a leader. You do not need any special qualities to become a leader. If you don't have and don't have any qualities, if you have any special qualities, it becomes your limitation. And if you don't have any qualities, you are free to become a leader. You are free to become successful. So if you have any doubt, oh, I don't have any special quality, how will I become a leader? Don't worry, you don't need any qualities to become a leader. You just need something which which the lion has. So let's see what makes the lion a leader. Let me ask you, a lion and an elephant. Okay? When an elephant sees a lion, what does the elephant think? See, elephant being such a big animal, okay? Elephant can, when the lion comes, it can just catch hold of the lion, just give a bang on some rock, put it down and kick, smash it, and he can kill the lion. Lion is so heavy and lion is so, elephant is so heavy and strong. But elephant does not do that. Elephant starts running. Why does the elephant start running? As Ryden said, Ryden de Silva says, it's because of fear. It's because of afraid. Yes, so lion operates out of fear. When the lion sees the elephant, the elephant operates out of fear. So when the elephant sees the lion, elephant thinks, oh, he's gonna kill me. Now let's come to the lion. When the lion sees the elephant, what thoughts does it create in its mind? When the elephant sees the lion, when the lion sees the elephant, lion thinks, wow, my full meals for today. My full lunch or my full meals dinner. So it's the way elephant thinks and the way the lion thinks is what makes things different. Lion thinks it is the dinner or it's a lunch and it starts attacking, and elephant operates out the fear thinking that lion would eat it. So it's the way how people think decides whether you are a leader or not. So it is the attitude of the lion which makes it a leader, because all the animals in the forest are afraid about lion. And for humans, fear will not work out. It's all about the respect. We don't have to create any fear among people for people to respect us. It is very, very important for us to create respect among people so that people consider us as a leader and they take us as a leader and they follow us. So it is very, very important for you to operate in your right attitude. You need to be strong. You should not have any self-doubt. You should not be having a self-doubt like a lion. Sorry, as an elephant. You should be confident like a lion. You need to have the right mindset. So, a lion without any special qualities, if it can lead the forest, if it can be the leader of the jungle, and my dear friends, you are a human, you are born to lead without any special qualities, you can definitely become a leader. Let me ask you, see, let's say in left side, there is a group of herd of sheep, okay? And in the right side, there is left side there are 10 sheep, and right side there are 10 lions. And these two teams, the sheep and the lion, they are in a battle. Whom do you think will win? The sheep will win or the lion will win? If you think it is sheep, you will win, type sheep. If you think the lion will win, type lion. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your response. And you say it is the lion which will win. Okay, now let's make a small change. You heard in the left side, you have 10 sheep and the leader is a lion. And at the right side, you have 10 lions, and the leader is the sheep. For the group of sheep, lion is the leader, and for the group of lion, sheep is leader. Now you tell me who will win? The group of sheep where the lion is the leader. So it is a leader who will make other people win. It is the quality of the leader which will help people. So an army of sheep led by the lion will win. An army of lion led by the sheep will not win. So are you a sheep or are you a lion? You don't need lions to win. You just need sheep. But if you are a lion, you can win with the sheep. And even if you have lions in your team, and if you don't have that quality of a lion, instead you have a quality of a sheep, even with all the resources in this world, you'll not be able to win. So your success lies within you. Your success lies in your attitude. Your team's growth lies in your attitude, not with the attitude or with your leader, or not with your leader's support or downline support. It is all about your attitude. The way you approach, the way you see things will make you a leader, will make you successful, will make your team successful. And do you guys remember the match between South Africa and Australia? I think it was in the year 2006. And if I'm not wrong, I think the date was November 26th. If I'm wrong, please, you can correct me. And this was one cricket match where the entire world turned back. And this was the match where both the teams scored an amazing run. It was a match where runs were pouring like storm, like rain. It was the runs were flooded like ocean. So if you remember the match, the first Australia won the toss, I think, and Australia was batting first. And it was a ODI, and Australia, in given 50 overs, they were able to hit 434 runs. 434 runs. And imagine if it is 434 runs, those days in 2006, it was very, very difficult to score 300 plus. It is very, very difficult to score 300 plus in the first innings, and chasing 300 plus runs itself is very, very Herculean task. And chasing 400 plus is not at all possible, which has never happened in the history. And Australia scored 434 runs in the given 50 overs. And if you happen to watch that match, you see after that particular day, the South African bowlers had a very bad day. Any ball they put across to the batsman, it was outside the boundary. And while going back, all the 11 players they were broke. If you see their attitude, if you see their body language, it was like, oh, don't ask us to bat anymore. We know we will not win. We will just side and give it to you. You want, please leave us. That was the attitude. That was the kind of body language which they were exhibiting. And the captain for South Africa was Graeme Smith, and he was talking to his coach and team manager. And when he went to the dressing room, and he saw none of his opening batsmen, they are ready with they have not padded up, or they're not ready to get into the crease. So he just watched everyone, all these people, their heads were down, they were not ready to play. They knew that they had a bad day, and they knew they'll not be able to win. And Smith gave a glance to all the players, and he just told only one line: I think they are 10 runs short. He just used only these words: I think they are 10 runs short. So what is the meaning of this line? I think they have scored 10 runs less than our capacity. After hearing this one line, all the people, all the players, they got inspired, they got charged up, and the opening plays, they immediately padded up, they went to the crease, and rest was history. They were hitting the ball like anything, left, right, center. They were hitting all across the ground. And I think sparing 4 balls in 49 overs, 2 balls, they wanted to cross 434, which they needed 435 to win, but they hit, sparing 4 balls, they hit 439, and which was a history. So how did the attitude of the players change? They were down. They were completely down. How? What made them the change? It was. See, I would not say the South African team had won the match. I would say it was Graeme Smith who won the match. It was his attitude which. It was his fearless attitude which made the team become fearless. He was the person who was given them the belief. He was the person who inspired the team. He was the person who kindled the potential of the team, and the rest was history. And this record, nobody has broken this record so far. That is the power of a leader. So if you are a strong leader, if you are fearless, if you are strong, you will be able to inspire anyone and everyone in your team. So do you have the same kind of fearless, strong attitude what Graeme Smith had? Do you have it? That is the kind of attitude that you need. That is the metal which is gonna push you up. That is the kind of leadership that your people want. That is the kind of leadership which you need to exhibit. That is the kind of attitude that which you need to exhibit. Those are the people who will get followers with them. Those are the people who can create more leaders. Those are the people who can create a big team. And it all lies in your attitude. It all lies in your belief system. Your belief system creates your attitude. Because based on your belief system, you have a certain way of thinking. Based on the thinking, you have a perceptions. You have perception, which is the attitude. Based on your attitude, you create some feelings, which will decide your actions. So your belief, your thinking, your attitude, your feelings, everything put together will determine your actions and your behavior. And your actions and behavior will give the results in your life. Unless and until you change your wrong belief system, unless and until you change your attitude, you will not be able to change your result. And my dear friends, I'm very sorry to say you, most of you have a wrong attitude, and I would not blame you. It is because we were slaves for 300 years. We were slaves for 300 years, and these 300 years we were not allowed to think. And it has become an habit for us to think or underplay in our thinking and think in a wrong direction, think that we are not capable. So it is not your problem. It was somebody else's problem. And you carried away with that thought. Not only India, you take any British colonies, they have the same attitude like us. They are not confident. They don't think. And all the British colonies are still, most of the British colonies are still developing or underdeveloped countries just because they don't think. And my dear friends, it is time for you to change your thinking process. Think what others cannot think. Think what others are not ready to think, and your life will change. Your thought process, your thinking, your beliefs, change your belief system. See, imagine if you take the look into the history, we Indians, we were ruling from India, those days Hindustan, from India, or let's take Karnataka, most of you are from Karnataka, or some of you are from Tamil Nadu and Andhra. You have great rulers, great kings who were ruling from the southern parts of India till Vietnam and Indonesia. In fact, they've ruled Cambodia. They've gone so far to rule, so they were able to create the navigation system. They were able to set up a navy. They were able to set up the army in those days, and they were able to conquer the world. And they were the true leaders. So our ancestors, they were the people who were born leaders who were ruling the world. And what happened to us? What happened to our belief system? That's what I told you. In the last 300 years, we were not allowed to think. And if you think different, then people stare at you. They think you something is nuts with you. And don't bother about that. When do you know who invented mobile phone? The first mobile phone. If anyone knows, you can just type. Mobile phone, the cellular mobile phone. It was invented by Martin Cooper. Telephone was invented by Graham Bell. The mobile phone was invented by Martin Cooper. He was the GM with Motorola. So when Martin Cooper invented the mobile phone, and he told his friends and family members that I've invented an instrument where you don't need any wires to talk to the other people, so you can use this instrument to connect to the world wherever they are. And people said, oh, Martin Cooper has some mental problem. They said he has gone nuts. And they in fact suggested him to go to a psychiatrist. So imagine, this mobile phone has transformed the entire world, transformed the entire technology. The world, what you see today is like this because it's only because of this one invention, the mobile phone. And people very close to him said he is nuts. So when you think different, people will say you are nuts and you are crazy. Don't worry. Which means when people say you are crazy and you are nuts, which means you are thinking in a different way. That is what will separate you from the common people, and that is what will make you a leader. So when your belief system change, your thinking will change. When the thinking changes, your attitude changes, your feelings change, and your behavior will change, and that will make you a leader. And it does not for people to consider you as a leader, they need to respect you. When will they respect you? When you start thinking differently. When you think what others cannot think, that is what will make you a leader. It is your mind that will decide whether you are a leader or not. It all starts within you. That's why I told you the leadership should come from within. Unless and until you cannot lead yourself, you will not be able to lead anyone. So it is your mind which creates a leader. See, difference between a leader and the follower is the attitude. It is the attitude which will decide whether you can lead or whether you are to follow. Unless and until your attitude change, if your attitude does not change, you will lifelong you'll be a follower and you'll not become a leader. And my dear friend, you need to be a follower initially, and from once you will be a follower, then you will change your attitude. That is when you become a leader. The attitude is the difference in how you think about yourself. What do you think about yourself? That is very, very important. It's not about what others think about you. What others think about is none of your problem. That is their problem. See, they see you in a way they want. That is not our problem. Let them see in a way whatever they want. Let them see you in a way whatever they want. That is their problem. That is not your problem. How you see yourself is your problem. You cannot change somebody else's perception. You cannot change somebody else's attitude because it's based on their belief system and thinking. You can only change your attitude and your thought process. See, your life will be the way you think it should be. If you think your life will be successful, it will be successful. If you think you are not fit for anything, you will not be fit for anything. If you think your life will be average, you will be average. If you think you will be successful, you will be successful. If you think you will be rich and wealthy, you will be rich and wealthy. If you think you are you will have a luxurious life, you will be luxurious. If you think you will earn 1 crore rupees, you will earn 1 crore rupees. It is all about what you think about yourself. Your life will be a result of your thought process. Unless and until you have a right thought process and a right attitude and a right thought process, nobody will be able to save you. Nobody will be able to make you successful. So if you want to become successful, it is your attitude and your belief system. When we talk about the belief and faith, I would like to share an example of there was a village. The village was very, very wealthy village, and mostly all the villages, they were wealthy. And I'm talking about some time when it was very ancient times. So those days, the people are considered wealthy by the assets they have, by the acres of land they have, and the number of goats and cows they have. That is what will decide how wealthy a person is. So all the people in the village, they had acres of land, they had many cows and sheep or goats, and they used this farm land, agricultural land, and they used the sheep and goats and cows to have their living. So what happened is, once there was no rain. For 1 year there was no rain, so they somehow managed with whatever things they have stocked up, piled up, they managed with that. So once when one full year when they didn't have rain, the next year they were not able to do any cultivation. So the next year they somehow managed with milking the cow, selling the sheep and cows. They managed. Second year no rain. Now it comes the third year. Third year no rain, and they were not able to give any. They were not able to stock anything to eat for the these herds, and they were not able to milk. So now they started selling the goat, cow, and sheep, and the wealth started coming down. And after by end of third year they don't have any sheep or cows, and the entire village has gone into poverty. They have bare lands where, because of no rain, no water, they were not able to cultivate it. So finally the villagers, they decided to have a meeting and plan for the course of action. Some of them, they thought they will leave the village and go to some other city and start a new living, and they just wanted to survive. But finally, all the villagers, they decided they will not go. They thought they will conduct a prayer, and they had complete faith in God. So they thought they will conduct a prayer, and through prayers, they thought their prayers will be answered, and God will give them rain. So they fixed up a date, and all the villagers, they were supposed to gather, and it was the day has arrived, the time has arrived, and the entire all the villagers, they are waiting. So they had another 5 minutes to start the prayers, and suddenly a boy comes running with an umbrella, and it was the umbrella was folded, and he was coming running, and he was heading towards this meeting. It was in a peak summer. It was so hot, and he was not using the umbrella. He was just holding the folded umbrella in his hand. So people were very furious. People were thinking, what boy is this? Is he so useless and he is so foolish? If he's bringing an umbrella, first thing, there is no rain, then why is he bringing umbrella? If he is bringing an umbrella and if it is to safeguard him from the sun, then he should have opened the umbrella, but he is not open. It is still folded. And what nonsense guy? What nonsense is? Why is this guy, this boy, is so foolish? And people started shouting at him. Some of them, they started making fun of him, and the main leader of the village called this boy and asked, my dear, why are you not using the sea? You know there is no rain, then why have you brought the umbrella? If you have brought the umbrella to safeguard you from the sun, then you should have opened it, and you are not using it. So what is the purpose of you bringing the umbrella? Are you a fool? And this little boy said, no, sir, I know there is no rain, and that is why we are having prayers. So after the prayer, it will definitely rain. So after the prayers, when it rains, I wanted this umbrella so that I don't have to become wet in the rain, or I don't have to go in the rain. That is the reason I have this umbrella. So now tell me, who are foolish? The people who are doing something without belief, or this boy with belief? Who is foolish? It is all the entire village people who were doing something without any strong belief. So there is no point doing anything and everything without belief. It is your belief which will be answered. It is not the prayers. It is your belief which will be answered. So your life will be your actions, your life, your result will be a product of your belief system. You cannot live beyond your beliefs. You cannot. Your belief is your limit. You cannot surpass your limits. See, let me ask you an example. Let me ask you a question. Most of your youngsters, you just recently, maybe in a year or two, 1 or 2 years back, you might have come out of your college studies. See, when during your school or colleges, when you write an exam, after the exam, or before going to the exam, or at least after the exam, you know I will get certain percentage of mark, or okay, in this subject I've written so much, I'll get this many marks. And when you got the result, after the paper was corrected, and when you got the result, was there any time where your marks were more than what you believe? Let's say you were expecting 70 marks. Did you ever get more than 70? Did you get 80? You are expecting 70 and did you get 80? No, it will not happen. It has not happened to me. Most of the time, 99.9% you get a mark. Some of the girls, I think you have got marks than what you've expected. Yes, it can happen to you because you always underplay, and you study well and you write for 100 marks and you expect only 80 marks. But we boys are not like that. We write for 60 marks and we expect 90 marks, and we have never got it. I hope this makes sense. I hope this is the same with the boys. Yeah. So, for us, most of the time, it's like that. We expect a mark, and we were not able to surpass that mark because that was our maximum limit. And some of the beautiful girls, I would like to tell you, see, in school and college, it might have happened, but in your real life, that will not happen. Your life will not surpass your limits. Your limits is your thought process. Limits is your belief. Your life will not surpass your beliefs. Whatever, you will either reach maximum to your belief, or you will be one step below your belief. Your life will not be beyond your limits. Life will not be beyond your belief system. You will either, the maximum, max to maxes, you can reach your belief. But 99% your life will be below your beliefs. So don't set a limit for your belief system. Let your belief system go high. This session, when we started, I said, you let your spirits go high. Your spirits, your belief, your attitude has to go high. And my dear friends, great leaders never lose hope. Great leaders never lose hope. It is your hope and belief system which will take you forward. See, why are we doing all this today? Why are we attending this training today? Why are we doing a webinar today? Why are we attending all these kind of trainings today? Because we have a hope we will become, there is a tomorrow. We have a hope that tomorrow or day after tomorrow or after a month or after a year, we'll be successful. So it is the hope. The hope is the only one thing which keeps us going. So don't lose your hopes. If you don't have hope, then there is no life. Hope is the only thing which is permanent in your life. So it is your hope that keeps you moving. So the leadership development of a person is determined by few questions, which is, first one is, who are you? Whom do you think you are? Do you think you are Rishi? Do you think you are Guni Shetty? Do you think you are Arbas? Or do you think you are Shivakumar? Do you think you are just Kushal Sharma? If you think only so much, then I don't think, my dear friend, you will be able to become successful. You are much more than what you think. It's not just your name that you are. You are much more than that. You are not just a Kushal Sharma. You are not just an Arbaz, or you are not just Rishi, or you are not just Niranjan, or you are not just Arul Raj. You are something more than that. That is what you need to identify. Where do you see yourself after 5 years, 10 years? That is what you are. See, if today, let me quote an example of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi would have seen himself as a Chief Minister and Prime Minister, or Chief Minister of Gujarat and Prime Minister of India, and that is why he's in that seat. Sachin Tendulkar was seeing himself lifting the World Cup, and that is why he was able to lift. MS Dhoni saw himself lifting all the ICC trophies. That is why he was able to lift. And whom do you think you are will decide your future. You just want to be a Muhammad, you just want to become a Shaker, you just want to become a Ranjit, then you will be like that. If you think you are something else. If you have a vision, you need to connect yourself with that vision. See, I see myself in a very big way. See, my dream, my passion, and my life is training. And if you ask me who am I am seeing myself as the #1 trainer in India. Not now. After 5 years, 10 years, I'll be one of the #1 trainers. I will be among the one of the #1 trainers, and that is where I am working on. I have this dream, and I see myself as my dream is to help 10 lakh people, to inspire 10 lakh people to change their lives. And that is the purpose. I think that is the reason why I am born. Same way, I'm giving you for an example. So the same way, you need to find out who are you. You should not be just a Arbaz, or you should not be just a Shivakumar, or you should not be just what your name says. You should be much more. What you think about yourself will decide what you are. See, if I think I'm not a good trainer, if I think training is just a job for me, for whole life I'll be just a normal mediocre trainer or a mediocre person who will just work for some salary or for an income, and I'll perish off. But if I see myself as a person of purpose, if I see myself as a person who's born to do something special, that is when I will reach that goal. And you need to understand your sense of purpose. See, we don't know from where we have come. We don't know from where we are going. I'm talking about we don't know what has happened before our birth. We don't know from where we have come. We don't know what is gonna happen after our death. And we are gonna be in this world for a short time. We are in a journey. That's what I believe. We have come from somewhere and we are going to somewhere, and in between we are in this world. And in this world, in this earth, if we are born, there is a purpose. There is a purpose. And if you understand that purpose, if you find out that purpose, or if you can fix a purpose, you see, you cannot find out or you understand. It is something that you need to fix. You need to decide what is your purpose. Nobody else can decide. And once you decide what is your purpose, that is when you become a leader. That is when the leadership in you starts growing. And that is when, as a leader, when you know your purpose, you will be able to influence, you will be able to inspire people. And you need to develop that kind of mentality. You need to know what you are. You need to understand what is your purpose. Only when you understand your purpose, when you know who you are, when you know what you're going to do, when you know what is your purpose, when you start seeing yourself in a different way, that is where the mentality of the leader starts creating. That is when you will start thinking and acting in a different way. And the leadership is not something which will happen by its own. Leadership within a person is something which has to be developed. How do we develop the leadership? The leadership within you develops with your attitude. And that is what we have been talking so far, your attitude. And once you have the right attitude of a leadership, then you need to connect it with your attributes. Attributes are the God's given gift. Attributes are the God-given gift to you. Tell me, just type what are the gifts that God has given you. Just type in the chat window, what are the gifts that God has given you? Life, you're alive. Today you're alive. It is a gift. Good health, good parents, the knowledge, opportunity, the tools, the gadgets that you have. You are able to speak. You are able to speak. You are able to walk. You are able to attend this webinar. You have so many friends. You have a team. So anything and everything in your life is a gift. See, imagine for your business, the one important thing that you need to have is you need to have the ability to speak. And most of us say, sir, I don't know to speak. I don't know how to speak to people about the business. My dear friend, there are people who are deaf and dumb, who are successful and who have become successful in Vestige. And God has given you a gift, which is your speech. And you say you don't know to speak. So you have a gift which is given by God. And if you are not recognizing that, then even God cannot help you. So whatever gift you have, you need to fuel it, you need to train it, you need to give additional skills, you need to decorate it, and you need to up your skills. You need to upgrade your skills. So you need to develop your all the gifts that you have. You need to develop all the gifts that you have. Next is your aptitude. You need to increase whatever you don't know, whatever knowledge you think you lack. You need to develop those knowledge. You need to work on your aptitude. So you need to have the right attitude. You need to upgrade your attributes. You need to develop your aptitude, which is your knowledge. And next one, the altitude. The altitude is nothing but in what kind of altitude are you going to associate yourself. See, if you want to grow high, you need to associate with the people who are in a higher level of thought process and people who are in a higher level of success. If you connect with people whoever is a failure, you will become a failure. If you want to become successful, you need to connect with successful people. If you need to become positive and strong, you need to connect with strong and positive people. So these four qualities together, the attitude, the attributes, the aptitude, and altitude, all the four together will develop your leadership. If you miss any of this, you will not become an effective leader. And your story about your potential will decide who you are going to be. Your story means what you think about yourself. And I would seriously recommend all of you to write your story. You need to write a story. You need to write a movie script. And you are the hero of the movie. Today, after this session, I would request all of you take half an hour time and think and write how your life should be. That is the movie script. You need to write down whatever you think you want, write in such a way that you are already living that life. And you are the hero. Let the climax of the movie end positive. And your story decides your potential, and your potential will decide your life. If you think you are an average, you will definitely be an average. If you think you are broke, you will definitely be broke. So you have two options. Either you can think positive or you can become successful in life. You cannot be negative and become successful in life. You can choose any of these options. You have only two, you have a choice, and out of two choices, you can only choose one. Either you think you are negative or you think you are successful. You cannot think negative and become successful. See, if you think you are an average, you are an average. If you think you are broke, you are broke. If you think you are successful, you are successful. And my dear friends, nobody else other than you is responding to your life. Your life is calling you. It is you who needs to respond. And nobody will come to respond. Not me, not your leader. Nobody will come to respond. It is you who has to respond to your life. And your life will be based on your response. And to become effective leader, to move from a follower to a leader, to move from a normal man to effective leader. See, have you seen the lion in the cage or in the zoo? See, lion is supposed to be in the forest and be as a king. But in the zoo, you see a lion, it does not seem to be like a king. It is inside the cage, it has lost its life. See, now do you think this lion, it is supposed to live in the forest as a leader, but it is trapped. So a trapped lion cannot be a leader. And this lion have an option where it can somehow escape from the zoo and go back to the forest. Or it could have escaped when the lion was caught. It could have escaped and gone back to the forest by attacking the people who were caught it. But lion did not take any such risk. Even when people go, when the guards they go and give food for the lion, it can attack him and it can run away. If the lion attacks the guard, 4 or 5 guards, next time people would the zoo officials, they would take this lion to the jungle and they will leave him there. But it does not attack, and that is the only reason why it is staying in the same zoo for years. And it is trapped. And to come out of this trap, it has to take a risk. And when it takes a risk, it is very dangerous. It might get hurt, or maybe it might lose its life. Who knows? So it will definitely get hurt. And because it is afraid about getting hurt, it does not take any action and it is trapped. Same way, most of us are trapped within our mind. And coming out of this trap is not an easy job. And when you come out of this trap, you need to face a lot of hardships and difficulties, lot of rejections. And people are feared about the rejection and they are not ready to change, and that is the reason they fail and they end up losing everything in their life. But when they face the rejections, they might lose something for a temporary time, but they will learn many things. And for a leader can become a leader when he comes out of this trapped mentality. So you cannot be a leader by being in a trapped environment. So if you want to become a leader, you need to come out of the trap. So throw away all the negative stuffs in your mind, throw away all the doubts in your mind, and you have to come out of this trap to become an effective leader. See, imagine you take a seed, you wrap it in a plastic bag, and you go home and you keep it in your wardrobe. What will happen to the seed after 3 years? You can respond to me on the chat window. You wrap a seed in a plastic bag and you just keep it in your wardrobe. What happens to the seed after 3 years, after 5 years, after 10 years, after 100 years? It remains the same. Okay, now you take the seed, you put in a fertile soil. What happens to the seed? It starts growing. It grows. The small it germinates, it starts growing, it becomes a small plant, then it becomes a tree, it grows very huge, and it starts giving you fruits for a long time. Not only the fruits, it gives you fruits, it gives you place to take rest while it is very hot. It's a shelter for many birds, it's a food for many birds. After the tree falls down after many years, the wood is used, so it has many purpose. So the seed was able to grow to such an extent where it was useful for all the living beings only in the right environment. And for you to become an effective leader, for you to manifest your leadership, you need to have the right environment. Without the right environment, you will not be able to grow. And the environment is with the right, associating with the right people. And unless and until you associate with the right people and right system, you will not be able to grow it. And to associate with the right people and right system and right group, you need to have that mentality to come out. But what happens to our people? Most of the time, our life is like seeing a two elevator or a lift. Whenever we see two elevator or a lift, we are waiting for the lift. We have pressed the button. We are waiting for the lift to come, and there are many people like us who are waiting. And the first lift arrives, and all the people, they will rush. And it is a 20-story building, and there are people who wanted to bow down at every floors. And it is jam packed, there is no space, and still we try to somehow squeeze inside and get into it. And we very well know that if we leave this lift, there is a next lift which is coming, which is free, nobody else is there. You can straight away go to the 10th floor, and most probably the chances are that you will reach before than all others. You just need to wait for a few seconds. But what happens? We look for instant gratification, and we want to be among the crowd, and we think like the common people, we think like everyone else, and that is the reason we choose the first lift and miss out the fastest growing opportunity is the second lift. Same way when you are with Vestige, people will come to you, and when people know that you are in direct selling, when people know that you are in network marketing, people will call you for different concepts, or people will tell you this, that job is better than this. People will show you some other opportunity saying that this is better. And if you go behind that, you lose a big opportunity here. So don't look for instant gratification. Instead, look for long-term benefit. And most of the time, what holds us back is our previous success. What holds us back is the previous success. I have seen many people saying, I was like that in that company. And when I was studying, I was like this. My family was like this. We were the big shots here. I was doing that. I had so much potential. See, you had everything. What is your life now? My father is like this. I have my father has earned so much money. Yes, your father has earned so much money. What have you earned? Those things are the past. What have you created? Have you created a legacy for yourself? What you wear is not a problem. What you are right now is the matter of concern. What you are gonna be is a matter of concern. Let's take a example of a district collector, an IAS officer. An IAS officer, when he is in the service, everyone will respect him. Even the police, the advocates, the politicians, everyone has to respect him. He will have he will have people around him to help him. He's given a vehicle by the government. He's given a quarters by the government. He has many people do whatever he says. People are at his command. But what happens once he retires? Maybe he might have done many good things to the society. When he's in service, people respect him. But when he retires, people will say, he is an ex-collector. He is an ex-IAS officer. So what were you is not a matter of concern. What are you right now? That is what will decide your future. That is what the respect you will have. So don't live in the past. Come to the present. Think big and achieve big. That is very, very important. All your past success is not going to help you. What you are doing right now and what you will do in future is very important. And some of you might be able to relate to this person. Can anyone tell me who's this? Is one of the famous basketball legend. I think some of you might be basketball experts. Yeah, right. So Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan, can anyone tell me for which club did Michael Jordan play in NBA? Chicago Bulls. Yeah, right. So he was playing for Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan was playing for Chicago Bulls. So during his earlier part of his career, when people had very high expectations on him. So when he was one of the first championship. So when they won the first championship, and the entire team was celebrating the championship. And he came in front of the camera. It was a live show and it was the finals and they have won the championship. They're holding the cup. He came in front of the camera and he showed like this. So what does this mean? We say victory. So he has won the first championship. So he has shown this, which means victory. Second time, and the entire world was watching this and they thought that he's showing the victory symbol and we people are very happy. And then next year again, the Chicago Bulls, they won the second championship. And this time he came in front of the camera and people were expecting him to show this, but he was showing this. So what does this mean? What is the meaning for this? Initially he said this victory first time. Second time he showed this. Oh, 2 victories. Oh, wow. And my dear friend, it was not about 3 victories. He was telling, this second time we have achieved, third time we will achieve. So he was preparing, he was not enjoying his current victory. He was preparing himself for the next victory. So the first time when he won, he didn't show these 2 fingers to say that we have won. He said, next time, next year we will win. Second time when he won, he's shown the 3 fingers, this symbol to show that we will win the next time, which means he was not in his past. Past thing, whether it is success or failure, it is a burden. Your success should not get into your head and your failure should not get into your heart. Both are burdens. You need to keep on moving. You need to see what is the future. And all the higher achievers, all the performers, all the top class leaders, they forget about they leave their past and they look for them the previous best performance, normal performance today, and they look forward to create a new performance. They look for big results. They try to they consider this result as the current result as a benchmark, and they try to create the next benchmark. And they train for this, they train themselves for that. And my dear friend, the warrior who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. So they prepare themselves for to go for the higher paces. They don't want, once they win, they don't stop there. They keep on preparing themselves, they keep on practicing themselves, they keep on educating themselves, so that they go to the next level, they win the next war. And when they go to the next war, it is always easy for us to look for opportunities or blame the circumstances. I hope most of you might have heard the story of opportunities where a company sent one of its management trainee to Africa to find out the opportunity to sell their footwears. And this guy, he was given an assignment for 6 months or 1 year, but he came in 21 days and saying that, sir, people in Africa does not wear shoes and slippers or sandals, so we don't have a market. So the company left it, and after a year or two, again the company sent another guy. The new guy, he goes there, and immediately after reaching there in 20 days, he gives a call, or he sends a telegram to the company saying that, sir, people in Africa, they don't use slippers and shoes, so we have a huge market, so please send me 3 containers of footwear. So it is the mindset which creates opportunity. If you see your circumstances, if you blame your circumstances, if you blame your situations, you will not be able to lead. And my dear friend, people look for all these blames and they blame the circumstances, because that is how the society has been designed. I told you 300 years we were slaves, and that is why we were not allowed to think. And if you think, you are a rebel. That was the past. If you think differently, people think you are a rebel. And they don't allow you to think. They want, see, people having the same mentality, or people who are not ready to change, will not be able to lead. And if you want to lead, you need to start thinking in a different way. You need to think the impossible things. So society is designed in such a way that they will not allow you to become leader. You know why they will not allow you to become leader? Because when you start thinking differently, and when you become a leader, the number in their group will reduce, and they are afraid about having a small numbers. They want to be in the majority who does not think, and they have a fear, so they don't allow you to go. Because when people like you, when they think differently, and when you go, their majority will reduce, and they don't allow you to grow. They are like, let me say, like buffaloes. See, when you drive through these Indian villages, you can sometimes see a group of buffaloes going on the road. And you bang your horn again and again, the buffaloes will not move. What happens? See, there are, let's say, 50 buffaloes on the road, and you bang your horn. What will happen to the buffalo which is in the behind? Only the buffaloes which are in the last row, they will feel the pressure, and they will try to run, but they are not able to run, because these buffaloes can see only the back of the buffalo which is in front. And you cannot lead a team by seeing the back of someone. So if you want to lead, you need to be in front, and being in a group will not help you to lead. And it is the mentality which will wakes up your leader. And if, unless and until you change your mentality, unless and until you have the right mentality, unless and until you have the right attitude, unless and until you think in a different way, you will not be able to lead. And to become an effective leader, it is very, very important to have a right attitude. It is to create a right perception. It is very, very important for you to feed the right information. Go into an information diet. Don't put all the junk information to your head. Use only the information which is very, very relevant and which is very, very useful for you. And leaders do what others fear to do. See, today you are alive. I appreciate you, all of you, and I say you are a leader because there are many youngsters like you, but they were not ready to take up this business opportunity. When others feared to take this opportunity, you were ready to take this opportunity, and that is why I call you a leader. When others feared, you were fearless, and that is why you are I say you are a leader. So this fearless attitude you need to continue throughout your life. That is what will make you an effective leader. So are you fearless? If you are fearless, just type fearless, or you can type FS. The right attitude needs feeding yourself with the right information. The right information is what will keep you fearless. And you are free to become successful like a lion. You don't need any special qualities. If you have any special qualities, you are in a trap. When you don't have any special qualities, you are free to become a leader. You are free to become successful. And your achievement is limited to your ambitions. Whatever you think is possible. If you think small, then only small things are possible. If you think big, big things are possible. It is your belief, it is your ambition which is gonna come true. So think big, set your ambitions high, and I want you to rise above the rainbow and become undefeatable, become unstoppable. So what does successful people do? Successful people keep themselves undefeatable. They plan big. They have bigger dreams. They don't play in a smaller way. They don't underplay. They have big dreams and they learn. Whatever is their dream, they equip themselves, they keep on learning, and whenever required, they take support. And they understand the importance of the system and they adopt to the system. And that system is what will lead the entire team to success. And they believe they are the best. Unless and until you believe you are the best, you will not be able to become successful, and believe you can change. And you need to believe you can change. And you have to be the change. If you want this world to change, you have to be the change. And when you create this mindset, when you create this undefeatable mindset, nobody can stop you. And fortunately, in Vestige, we have and be awesome and be unstoppable. And when you create an unstoppable mindset, nobody can stop you. You are an unstoppable leader. And thank you so much. Wishing you all the very best and wishing you well. See you on the top. And this is Praveen signing off from you. Thank you so much. And back to